What's good, guys? It's Joseph, and today we're going to be in Photoshop. It's going to be a different kind of video. We're going to be cutting things out, or cutting background out, or cutting an object out of a video, leaving the background transparent with the click of a button. I know it sounds impossible, but it is possible. It might not necessarily be at the click of one button. You might have to do a little bit of editing around it, but more or less, this is probably one of the fastest ways to cut things out of the background and have it be almost perfect every time. So I'm just gonna go into not After Effects. Wow, Photoshop. I got Photoshop open. I just grabbed this picture off of some website on Google. But I'm pretty much just gonna be cutting the hand and the little camera lens out of the shot and having everything else be transparent. And the way there's always, back in the day, I'm pretty sure whenever you look up how to cut things out of the background, you've probably found a variety of different ways to do it. You've probably seen someone take this pen tool here and literally draw a mask around whatever you're cutting out. And this is a very accurate way to do it, but it's probably one of the most time consuming ones. There is another one where if you take the quick selection tool and you just make sure your layer is selected, and then you kind of draw around. This is also a very good way to get it done. Like I have a more or less a pretty decent selection there. Using the magic wand, clicking things. But this tool right here, object selection tool, is probably my favorite tool to cut things out that I have ever used in my life. And if you guys haven't used it before, let me put you on to this thing. So if you guys don't see it, it should be with wherever your quick selection and magic wand tool is. If you don't see it, go up to your edit and then your toolbar, and then go ahead and click on restore defaults. And I'm not sure, I have Photoshop 2022. I'm sure this is like something that's been added on to an older version. So if you guys don't have it and this doesn't work for you, restoring your defaults, or if you don't see it and this lists it anyways, then you might want to update your Photoshop if you really want to use it. I'm sure you can get around it. You don't have to use this, but I'm just going to show you guys how it works. And so now you can see I have it selected, and I'm scrubbing over things. It can tell things apart in your photo. Depending on the resolution, it might be 100% perfect on it. If you look at the bottom left of the hand here, it's not going to select that, but we can fix that. I'm going to show you guys how to clean up whatever selections you guys have made. So I'm just going to click on the hand, and if I hold shift, I can also click on the thing. So it's not one click, it was two clicks there, but if I'm happy with it, I'm happy with it. I'm not really clickbaiting. It's literally I did it in one click. I'm just gonna say I did it in one click, so whatever. Got that stuff selected. I'm going to go to select and mask here. It's going to put a little red square or a red, color over everything that's not selected. And so what you want to do, if you want that, it's like an option up here. If you click on view mode, it's overlay. So you can click that, and then you can make the opacity whatever. If you click on the little zoom tool, you can zoom in and you can kind of see what's selected. And you can and if you want, you can take the opacity down to see what's part of this. If I take this little brush tool, I can literally brush over if I want to have this part. I can just get rid of all that if I want. And if I press Control Z, it'll go back. But I kind of want to fill in the parts that were kind of, missed. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is a detail that is probably going to be missed no matter what. And then if you press Alt on your keyboard, you can kind of go back, and then you can get rid of that, So there you go. And if you want to get these little hairs, some people and this works if you're cutting something out that has a very fuzzy edge, or if they have hair, you click on the Refine Edge tool. And so you have the Refine Edge tool, and you can scrub over, and it should get most of the hair or whatever. This hair is very out of focus, so it might not show up as well, but it'll definitely show up a little bit. And so you can kind of do that. And that's pretty much it. Like the rest of this seems to be pretty good. I see where this little part's highlighted red here. I'll take my little brush and just make sure everything is selected in there. So it should be good. And so it looks like the red there is actually just some subsurface scattering from whatever the light is going on. So, I mean, everything here looks fine. And so there's things you can do. You see like kind of like the outer edge of the hand is kind of blue, and that's just from the lighting and then kind of like the background. So it's not a perfect cut. And so if you wanted to, you can take the brush and then you can press Alt and then either draw around, or you can mess with some of the settings here with the radius, with the like the feather radius, or you can smooth things out. Feather, I wouldn't necessarily do feather. I would probably shift the edge a little bit, but just like ever so slightly. But you can always go with this little brush and just make some, press Alt and then kind of like carefully draw around here. If you want to get like 100% perfect, this, depending on like what background you're going to be putting this on, you're not really going to be able to tell that it was cut out. But if you want to be like if you want to do a very thorough job and you're going to be paying very close attention in the end product, then I definitely recommend just going through and cleaning up some edges that might have gotten missed by the program. But more or less, I'm happy with how this turned out. You go to output down here, you click selection, and you do layer mask. And so that way you can always go back in here and make changes later. So if you press OK, you just go back into the layer mask and make changes later if you'd like. But as you can see, if I scroll down here, it got some of the hair. It's just a little bit out of focus. But once you zoom out to like how it's supposed to be, I'll get rid of this white background square, and you can see that it's cut out. So if you double click on here, you can go back into the selected mask, and you can redo, and then you can either add more to it. See how like the in between right here got cut out. I can add that back in and just press OK, and it saves. And then if you're using this in After Effects, you can save it as a Photoshop like PSD, and you can import it into After Effects as a PSD. And if you ever need to go make a change, you can open back up the Photoshop file and then do this, save it, and it saves automatically in After Effects. So that's pretty much how you get things cut out. It's not really that complicated. It depending on what you're cutting out. Sometimes you won't even have to go into the selected mask property unless you want to double check and see if it worked very well. But you know, the object selection tool definitely is probably one of my favorite things to use. Obviously, you guys have your own workflows and stuff like that. And sometimes it can be a little finicky if your object that you're cutting out isn't necessarily a high quality. But I just wanted to get this video out there for you guys. I've been trying to make some more recently. Just kind of have a lot going on with work and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to be a little bit more active on the channel. I know you guys have been active. I see your comments. I try to like them as much as I can. I try to respond to all of you guys, but sometimes it can just be a little much and I can't really get to it. But other than that, guys, if you have any questions, my DMs are open on Twitter. I try to look at the comments. Anything else, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm out. Peace.